Hi, I'm Alain Cardon, Master Certified Coach from the International Coach Federation, validated by that association. And this is...
Hi, I'm Paul Bada. I'm CEO of Batsi, Romania. We're the biggest Nissan dealership in Romania. So we're here to talk about coaching, and maybe one question would be, how does coaching and management mix? Because I've been training as a coach and I see the benefits of having a coach training and a coaching background in a management position.
Mm-hmm.
But what's your view on that?
Okay, obviously you have a lot of answers because you've been through the training and that was your objective. But yes, a lot of leaders and managers come to coach training to become manager coach, actually not to become coaches. They're not going to necessarily practice as a coach formally and earn money that way. They want to stay managers, but they see a benefit in learning the coaching skills. So actually it's to acquire coaching skills that they're going to use in their professions. And that's true also for a lot of other professions. I just use profession in the plural, but it could happen for salespeople and it could happen for recruiters and so on. So the trick there is not to think in terms of coaching, but to think in terms of coaching skills. And there's a number of skills actually that are acquired to do good coaching. For instance, we could say a good quarter of the coaching skills are around alignment between the coach and the client. So it could be between the manager and the personnel or whoever he's managing at one point in time. So in the beginning of a coaching session, there's a lot of alignment tools and setting of foundation type of tools, and then focusing on the direction. And these are necessarily, I would say, leadership issues and management issues. So by learning how to do it well in a coaching situation and really focusing on that dimension of coaching, a leader or manager acquires those tools and can use them in a lot of other professional situations. Now there's another set of tools around listening, sort of being present to the information in the large sense of the word. It concerns the information the person is saying, but also the information from the environment, the patterns around the coaching, the information that's coming out of the relationship. And practicing that in the coaching relationship also develops that for a manager. In other words, how to be present to the patterns and the information flow and the information coming from the partners and seeing the patterns in this. So really, that's another, we could say, quarter of the tools in coaching that by practicing it, the manager really develops. And then there's another set of tools, we could say, or a set of skills actually developed when you really practice coaching, which is being more focused and present to the person, to the capacities for development, the motivation, the human dimension, we could say, but it's also the deeper aspirations of the person, the system, and so on. So it's and the development dimension. In other words, what's the capacity for change, for evolving, for changing frame of reference, for stretching, and things like this. In the person that you have, and also in the manager. In other words, it's in the situation, the patterns about learning and becoming. So the manager or the coach is practicing being in an environment where development is central, and it's the learning environment that coaching provides, and the development and being environment. So there's this whole human dimension also. And then finally, there's a good quarter of the coaching. Oops, that's an interesting environmental. So there's also the last quarter, we could say the fourth quarter of coaching skills that are around focusing on the future, the action, the tracking, and realizing things. It's the energy-oriented and it's a results-oriented dimension of coaching. And it's also bringing a closure, in other words, agreeing at the end to a set of actions and until the next meeting. And so the whole closure dimension of coaching is a necessary skill set, I would say, that also managers use. So we can say that there's a lot of overlaps between coaching and management in a way, or project management. It's people management, it's development management, it's focusing on the direction and the outcome and things like this. So for me, it's obvious that there's a big overlap in terms of skills. Mm-hmm. Now, the main difference, of course, is the coach is not responsible for the client's results, but the leader is responsible for the organization's results. So there's always this tension between delegating in a way and then being directive in the sense of pushing for something that may be in the manager's attitude and focus. But the more a manager develops, I would say, coaching skills, the more that manager will realize that in the coaching skills, there are other ways of accompanying, development and results and so on, by creating an environment where people can actually own those. So it's rather different. But I mean, I have the feeling of describing something that you have experience in this.
Well, yes, actually, it's something I'm really experiencing right now, and I've been experiencing since I finished training. One of the most difficult things, as you said, while using coaching skills in management, is this lack of intention. Let's say, is trying to stay out of not to push the process, delegating, and well, it's hard. Yes. It's hard, and it's hard for somebody for me. It's hard to decide when to be directive and when to delegate.
I have a take on this, which we could give a different light. If in a coaching relationship, the coach feels that the client is not moving, is wasting his time, or that coaching is not appropriate, it could be a very good decision to consider stopping the coaching and separation, which in management would be the equivalent of saying, I have to let you go. How can we arrange for you to leave the company in a proper way? This may be the best solution for both of us. In other words, in the company and in coaching, there is a form of commitment that you expect from the people. That's why you're both there. Mm-hmm. So if you hire somebody expecting some kind of commitment and then you realize that they're not doing it, then maybe they're not in the place they should be. It's the same context in coaching. Right? So a coach will not start driving in the same way. I would say a manager should reconsider trying to push and drive and force, because normally if the people are developing, they have the right to learn and so on, but they, in a way, as a leader, you don't expect people to sit and then you have to push.
Yeah.
So there's, I think, many more correlations than we think if you really do professional coaching. Yes. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll have another talk on something else.